I'm not going to lie. Like, if you're going cross country, I prefer a commercial business class, first class seat than private.
Maybe because you haven't flown a nice enough private plane.
I've done my fair share.
Why on it? Because if you fly in like a bigger plane,
I like the service. I like the bigger plane. Like, it's a commercial aircraft, so it's actually funny.
You like it for safety.
Yes, I'm going to share this story. I was on a private flight from Ibiza to Milan.
Okay.
Wow. That's the richest thing you've ever said.
I didn't pay for it. I did not pay for it.
Holy shit.
Let's be very clear.
Just remember, when the reckoning comes, Anand's first.
Yeah, definitely.
I did not pay for this flight. I was a guest on this flight. The turbulence was absolutely insane.
This was summer.
Yeah.
In the summer. It was like the scariest flight I've ever been on. The person who hosted us was walking me through the economics, how like, you know, if we crash right now,
it's cheaper to crash in a private plane.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be
during the turbulence?
Yeah, during the turbulence. He's explaining this whole thing to me. And then he starts walking through the economics. He goes, you know, the commercial flight insurance is way more than a private jet insurance. So, you know, EasyJet wouldn't have taken off, but we took off because insurance.
Yeah.
And he's walking me through the math.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey guys, we have a warning on today's episode. Spotify is going to give us a warning. It's going to say probably COVID, information.
Everything's COVID. You could say anything about anything in the world, and the only fucking warning Spotify gives you is about COVID. They're stupid.
Yeah. So we're going to put our own warning on this one. What was our warning again, guys?
It's comedy.
This is comedy. Yeah, this is a comedy show.
This is comedy.
Yeah.
This is a comedy show.
We should do stand-up.
Loosely based on some facts.
This story is loosely based on some facts. It's a comedy show, and don't get confused. And what we're really pushing for today is that more people would put this disclaimer in front of their shows. Preferably anything
Fox and
owned
CNN.
by the Murdochs or CNN or... And Anand got in some beef too. Anand got his first blocking. When it comes to, these emotional journalists, Anand got blocked. So we're going to talk about that.
The liberal elite.
That's how you know you made it. I mean, I wonder how many journalists have blocked Joe Rogan, probably thousands. So
everybody.
This is your first
I'm on
step.
my way.
Yep. And we got a lot of news to talk about. We got a hot episode. Yeah. Everyone ready?
Let's do it.
And then we're going to talk about Chris Rock at the end.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Drama hasn't seen it, so we're going to do a quick, couple minute.
Yeah, I just realized it's out, so I'm going to go watch it, and I don't want any spoilers. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Hey guys, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
What do you say we
March.
kick the week off? We're in March, and we're 1 week away from the clock change.
Oh, thank God. But the rain is just killing me.
And there's a couple more days of rain on the docket.
I actually wanted to step out in the morning with the kids, and then it started raining.
Yeah.
I'm done with
it's
the rain.
30 degrees.
It started raining this morning, and we were like, oh, let's go to the beach and watch the ocean, whatever, just to do something, because we didn't want to get stuck in the house all day. I ended up driving all the way to San Pedro to the port of Los Angeles. By the way, if you have kids, great place, really great place. We ended up on a battleship for an hour. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really cool because we just, Dee and I with Haley, Amanda, and Mom, the kids, we're literally coming from there right now. And he was like, yeah, we cruised on a ship.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. We literally
explain what is that?
There's a U.S. battleship, USS Battleship Iowa, just literally across from the port of Los Angeles, which, by the way, is dead empty. Nothing is getting imported into this country. There was one container ship unloading goods. There's nothing coming into this country.
So people have stopped ordering, is what you're saying.
Yes. It's fucking empty.
Inventory, no one's ordering.
Yeah, no one's ordering shit. That should be a good sign of you know,
inflation. Well, we have a lot of numbers this week.
yes.
Tuesday and Thursday pods are going to be hot.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot numbers coming in. But yeah, we ended up on this battleship. We walked around on it for an hour. It was great. It was dead empty. It was 10 in the morning. It was raining on the damn ship. But you literally get to walk inside of a battleship. You get to see where they slept, where they ate, where they fired cannons and missiles. And
So it's
What
a
like
military
time
ship.
period was it used?
it was a World War II ship.
Wow.
Oh,
It's sick.
got
Every
it.
time in the 40s.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's
That's
a really,
crazy.
really cool. It was active till like, I think late 80s, maybe 1990. Pretty fat. The kids had a blast. It was awesome. We went to Starbucks, copped a donut, kept them moving.
Nice.
You're feeding your
Pretty
kids
cool.
donuts?
It was like a long ride, and I was
Okay,
like,
a little reward.
I was like, what do
donut,
you
that's
need?
fine.
What do you need to keep
Yeah.
it going? And he's like, I need a donut. I was like,
Yeah,
fine.
I
Oh,
get
the
it.
donut was a
I feel the
request,
same
not
way.
just like something sugary.
No, I'm like, I'll get you a treat if you guys can last till the end of this battleship. In the Army,
Give me a
in the
donut.
Navy, I don't know if they did that.
I think they did.
I think
You
they
guys
gave donuts.
killed these guys. You get
Yeah.
a snack.
Yeah, I think when they returned back to the U.S., they said, "All right, what do you need? Donuts?" And then that was about it. No, mental health care or anything like that. But they gave them
No.
donuts.
No health insurance, no nothing.
Yeah.
The
God.
other thing I wanted to talk about is we were talking about real estate and particularly Arizona real estate because we met Joel Chaco at our little meetup when we were out in the Super Bowl. He went on to send me a big response.
Okay.
He wanted to say most of the deals he does are under $1 million in price.
Okay.
I'd say he'd said well over 90% of Arizona residential real estate is under $1 million. Interest rates for conventional 30-year fixed mortgages under $725,000 in Arizona has been around 5.5% to 6.25% for the last 2 months. Jumbo residential loans, that's over $725,000 in Arizona, has been trending 0.5% lower than the conventional rates. Investor residential rates are 7% and commercial rates are 8% and up. He said he used Arizona as an example. Inventory is an issue here. There's not enough available homes for the amount of people moving here. He said he heard a stat that 70% of Americans with homes are sitting on a mortgage rate below 4%. That inventory is not hitting the market again for a while, except for a death or a divorce. Majority of residential loans are conventional 30 or 15-year fixed. Adjustable rate mortgages are only popular right now because rates are higher and people plan to refinance later. But what he's saying is everyone thinks the rates are going lower later. And anytime everyone thinks that something exactly is going to happen, that's not what happens. So he thinks that's the scary part, that a lot of people are going these adjustable rates, anticipating that they can refinance in the future. But he's saying, what if rates keep going up?
It's
So what do you take from that? Like there's some danger here?
No, so what I've actually heard kind of anecdotally from people in real estate in LA that do like a lot of large commercial projects, apartments, residential, that a lot of people that had debt from, call it 3-4 years ago, it's coming up due
Mm-hmm.
and the project's not done yet. Call it construction, COVID, who knows?
Yeah.
And you have to refinance it at a rate that's, 3-4x
Yeah.
what you thought you were financing your project for. And it's becoming a real problem. And there's a chance of fire sale of large projects. That's what kind of like my friends in LA real estate that are dealing, kind of with big apartment projects and
Yeah.
that are not fully done yet. Like they're now about to start leasing, but that debt was from like 4 years ago.
Yeah. And there's a
And-
lot of those, at least in LA.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see compression really quickly on the value of a lot of this real estate.
Interesting. Okay.
And this isn't like, someone selling, these are $1 billion projects that I'm talking about.
Yeah, those things are popping up everywhere. I mean, like I said, I'm in Hollywood. There's 5 of them within eyesight being built.
Right. And that loan was from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And if it's not paid back in the next, 18 months,
Yeah.
guess what? You have to refinance at 7-8% or whatever, 6%. Even if it's 5%, it's not 1%.
Yeah.
It wasn't 5% the residential. Obviously, we're talking about Arizona, but that was the residential rate, right? He was saying commercial is like 8%.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's going to get really, there's going to be a lot of distress. I think LA.
He said single family homes, he's not concerned at all because one, there's not enough supply, and that BlackRock and all these people are still buying up as many of these homes as they can. So that's good because that affects more of the economy than anything is single family homes.
Yeah. No, 100% from like a larger perspective for the average consumer. Yes, single family home is the most important thing. But what I'm talking about is just all these projects that have been built in this boom time, and the debt needs to be, someone needs to figure out, you either have to pay it or you have to refinance it.
Yeah.
And in the old days meaning 18 months ago, you just automatically refinance it.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when the rate is 4x.
Well, it seems to be a problem.
Yeah, there's so
think
many
it's a
moving
problem.
parts at this. Like, I literally have no idea. Even that thing, I'm sure you guys talked about that credit card debt graph or whatever that you sent over. Like, I have no idea. But at the same time, there's all these like positive stats.
Oh, here's a real positive stat. So we touched on it last episode, the PS, the private reserve at LAX.
Okay.
And someone, a friend of mine DM'd me and said he knows people, his family works there, and said that business is booming at Private Suite.
Yeah,
and so
sure.
what Private Suite, just, if you don't know, we talked about it. It's a service in LAX where you don't touch the plebs. You literally, park, you literally, it's a different street. There's no traffic. There's valet. You get ushered in a private car.
Nice. I've done it.
It's an incredible experience.
What exit do you get off? What exit do you get off? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it's not wherever LA.
There's no traffic. Let me tell you, it's the quietest fucking
Because sometimes
street.
I've been like going home for Christmas or whatever, and like everything's good. I'm making great time, and then like at the exit, it's just stopped. And
no, you're not even. You don't even see.
Yeah, you're way past that.
It's just
There's
highway
no
exit to terminal is a long ways. It can fuck up your whole trip just at that exit. So man, if you could skip that.
And so just to refresh people, we said it was $4,800 a year, $4,850 for the membership. And then every single time you go, it's $3,450 up to 4 people, includes complimentary valet up to 30 nights. And each additional traveler is $500. And they have, you can get a manicure for $120, a massage for $150, haircut for $100. There's endless amount of services you can get. But the interesting thing, he said that the demand is crazy for it. Obviously, celebrities are using it, a ton of wealthy people, but they're now opening in Atlanta, Miami, and Dallas. So the wealth.
Yeah, it's a great alternative to flying private.
Yeah.
Because you get, for the most part, the private experience without having to pay 10x.
Yeah.
That's not bad. If you take that experience and then fly first class, especially on those nicer airlines with the little pods and shit, not much below for private. As far as general experience, you know what I mean?
The bathroom is still public.
The bathroom's public, but
that's true. That's very true.
I
But you know what I mean? Like if you went private suite to like JetBlue Mint or like one of those American pods, it's obviously not private, but for the price difference, let's say you're flying to New York, that's a pretty good experience.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're going cross country, I prefer a commercial business class, first class seat than private.
Maybe because you haven't flown a nice enough private plane.
I've done my fair share.
Why on it? Because if you fly in like a bigger plane,
I like the service. I like the bigger plane. Like, it's a commercial aircraft, so it's actually funny.
You like it for safety.
Yes, I'm going to share this story. I was on a private flight from Ibiza to Milan.
Okay.
Wow.
small
That's the
plane.
richest thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
didn't pay for
God.
it. I did not pay for it.
Holy shit.
Let's be very clear.
Just
I did not
remember,
pay for it.
when the reckoning
You see-
comes, Anand's first.
Yeah, it's definitely on.
I did not pay for this flight. I was a guest on this flight. And the turbulence was absolutely insane
This was summer.
Yeah.
in the summer. It was
I remember you talking about that.
like the scariest flight I've ever been on. And the person who hosted us was walking me through the economics, how like, if we crash right now,
It's cheaper to crash in a
no
private
one
plane.
cares.
Yeah.
Like they're going
Is
to
that
be
during
like,
the
oh,
turbulence?
yeah, during the turbulence. He's explaining this whole thing to me. And then he starts walking through the economics. He goes, the commercial flight insurance is way more than a private jet insurance. So, EasyJet wouldn't have taken off, but we took off because of insurance.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh
walking
my
me
God.
through that map. And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
are we going to die? And he's like, yeah, what are we? We're going to be a footnote in the obituary page if we die right now. And he's walking me through this whole analysis.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a reasonable reason to want to fly business on long flights. I get it. It is
And
a
that
little
wasn't
sketchy.
a long flight. It was a short flight. But I'm saying that scared me. It spooked me.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing we can definitely count on over the last few years is that the business of like ultra luxury, especially when it's like low inventory items, is hotter than ever.
Yeah.
I think anything ultra luxury, like if I was starting a business today, I would either cater to a consumer facing. I would either cater to the lowest or the highest. Like, and
Yeah.
highest is obviously way more fun. And so like cater to the highest. People like, people mock a lot of these luxury things, but like you could think of something that's such a convenience. Like, okay, let's take luxury families with tons of money. Imagine if you could go to a hotel anywhere in the world, your crib, the food, the fucking toys, they replicate your home.
Mhm.
What is that worth to someone that's really rich? 20 grand? 25,000?
A lot. Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
To make your life easier? Like they find a nanny that looks like your nanny, whatever, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you're right. You can take any like extravagant thing that you hear billionaires do, make it sort of repeatable and available
A
for
little
20
bit more
grand.
accessible. Yeah, exactly.
Sell as many as you want.
Yeah, I just think there's so many little things. The private suite at LAX is one microcosm of things that you could serve people. Like, oh God, I can't remember the app, but our friend Anish was sharing with me an app in New York, a restaurant app, where it's dynamic pricing, which I've been saying.
Dorsia.
Is that
Right?
what it's called?
I think it's Dorsia.
Oh yeah, okay.
In New York, right?
In New York.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like depending on the time of the day and the night, you pay higher per person for the food, like a minimum spend.
Yeah. That makes
So if you are rich and you want to go eat at whatever restaurant, you'll just pay it. Like, what do you care?
Yeah.
If your meal is $75 a head or $200 a head and you're rich, it means nothing to you.
Yeah. 100%. And the restaurants can just print money.
Yeah. By the way, like I think you could do that at Cheesecake Factory. If you did a time and a half and you didn't have to wait, I'm sure a lot of middle class families would gladly pay it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can
like
do dynamic pricing on literally everything.
Yeah, I agree.
That's essentially what like
problem
the
is-
resale market in shoes is. Like literally everything. Like Postmates, you could be like, I want mine in 10 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
pay quadruple. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
do it
just
on
think
fucking everything.
yeah, I think we're just at a point when I was talking to our friend Hari, we saw over the weekend. I was asking, he was in New Zealand running a marathon with his girlfriend, and I was like, "How was it?" And he was like, "It was so slammed. It was so slammed, busy as shit in New
Yeah.
Zealand." And I'm like, "Who was there?" He was like, "Americans, Chinese people. It was just so busy. Everywhere we went was busy. Hotels were expensive, flights were expensive." And he's a doctor, he's been on the podcast actually. And I was like, do you think it's because, and we talked about this last episode, was that people are just like, fuck it, I could die.
Mhm.
What am I saving all this money for? What am I just not living life for? And I think that is a big part of it.
I 100% agree. It's why credit card debt is at an all-time high because people are like, look, our lives were taken away from us for 3 years,
Yeah.
2 to 3 years, depending on what state, country you lived
Yeah.
in.
Bury me with that
Also,
debt.
I think it kind of
bitch.
made money a little bit of a joke. Like I think the whole PPP thing and all that kind of made people's like sort of respect for money shake up a little bit.
I don't even think it's
I think it's-
respect
we're
for
talking
money.
about,
I think
like,
it's respect for experience.
I think boomers weren't participating in PPP and all that shit. That
I
was
think-
very much a millennial Gen Z scam stimulus.
But that's who I'm talking about. I think
But
that
I'm
these
talking about
young
older
people
people.
are like, fuck it. I've heard a couple stories of people like, you know how you remember, you know, your story about when you first started 5-4 and you maxed out multiple credit cards and fucking you just whatever. Like it was just like, I'm
Yeah.
going to just finesse. Like, I think
Yeah.
that people are figuring out that they can do that with like Coachella. Like, I'm going to get a fucking credit card. I'm going to get the VIP wristbands. I don't give a fuck. Everyone's been scamming anyway. Like, that's
I
just
just
the
won't pay
impression
this.
that I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think like it's an age thing. Like, you know, people. So I'm turning 40. You obviously are, and Drama, you're getting up there too. Sorry.
30.
You kind of just start seeing life events of like, you know, it's just tougher when you get older.
Yeah.
Your parents and, you know, whatnot. And people are just like, it's
Yeah.
a shock that happened during COVID.
Because it became real.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine told me the other day, we were unfortunately talking about death, and we were having this conversation about how many more summer vacations do we all have as like.
Oh, if you do that math, it's so
Jesus
morbid.
Christ.
Yes.
I hate, I've seen all those
don't tell me the
threads.
number.
I literally don't like how many times you're going to see your parents, how many Christmases, how many books you're going to read. How
Yes,
many
everything.
Everything's really
and
terrible.
yes, and it's really dark, but I was listening to my friend talk about it, and if you look at it from that perspective of like how many summer vacations, how many times you're going to see your parents, how many times you're going to do something with your kid, or how many times you're going to do anything with your friends, anything.
Yeah, of course.
Why the fuck would you save
The
$1?
answer's always yes.
Yes.
Yeah, if you get an invite to something, say yes.
That's my point, is that like when it's all said and done, you know, at the end of your life, what are you going to have? Experiences. That's all
And
you're going to remember.
Memories. Yeah.
Like, did I do this? Did I not do this? Did I spend time with my children? Like, you know, people write, you know, a lot of things, specifically with people with kids. Everyone's regret is something around like not spending enough time with their children. A lot I think specifically for men, because I think we've historically been less engaged as parents. Now we are more engaged than previous generations, but like I would say that is the number one regret. But then when you start looking down the list of things, it's like, why didn't I do that trip? Why there's going to be a time when you can't travel. Well, there's going to be a time when you can't do anything. Like I was talking to about my friend's parents. He's so wealthy and his parents literally cannot fly. And he private jet, all this shit. And they just can't hop on a plane anymore, which is kind of sad. It's like, dude, you can't even do those things anymore.
Yeah, I think what the takeaway is, and I think it hit me and Amanda too, like pretty strongly in the last 12 months. And it's just like, we're doing everything.
Yeah.
Like if someone asks us to like show
We're
up.
aware. We've seen you guys. You guys are everywhere. You're going to a wedding
post.
for a night, this, there.
No, but we don't post. But my point is we had that same kind of
awakening,
you know, whatever you want to call it. It's like, what are we, like, we didn't do anything for years.
Yeah.
And we're just like,
Well, yeah, look, I think you guys are in a situation where you have the means and the resources. If your kids want to be taken care of, you could do that. People without those resources are still like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I mean, every airport's just filled with kids.
Yeah.
You're in an airport every week. It's just kids.
Yeah. That's my airport experience.
Yeah. I also think that
I'm not on private suite. I am in the middle getting clocked by like a 3-year-old.
Fucking Chuck E. Cheese of airports. Yeah. I also do think that there's an effect of like, it's not nothing that we're always talking, or people are always talking about how like America's on the decline and everything's going to shit and this person doesn't know what's happening and there's fucking aliens and there's going to be a nuclear war next week. And like, I think that when there's just uncertainty about the future, people live a little bit more in the like fuck it sort of mentality.
Yeah.
I think all of those things play a part.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's good. I mean, that's what you want, right? I mean, you want people running marathons and going to Coachella and fucking maxing out their credit cards. Maybe not that part, but you want people going out and having experiences.
I agree. And I think like financially, I don't know the impact we'll have on the economy at the end of the day. Like, there's a lot of really smart people trying to figure it out, whether it's the Fed, whether it's governments, whether it's private institutions. So I think like, as much as like, if you think about it like this perspective, COVID was our closest thing that we've experienced to any sort of like warlike experience.
It's the experience of a world war.
Yeah. Right.
To kind of not.
Yeah. I mean, this is the closest thing we've had to that.
Correct.
We've not experienced real war.
Yeah.
Like our citizens have not experienced it.
I got to just say though, I just want to say real quick, I'm sorry. Like there are parts about COVID that were worse than a world war in the sense of it was on our land. It was people's relatives dying.
True.
It was people's like dying at home. It was people dying and not being able to see your family member because you can't go visit the hospital. There were traumatizing experiences that reflected a war on our soil, which, will probably hopefully never happen. So there were parts about it that were so traumatizing.
It's a good point because when have a million Americans died in a 12-month period?
Never.
On American soil.
On American soil.
More because of McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, separate from that stuff.
Yeah,
it's a very good point, Drama.
Yeah, so I think to that point, that was the closest experience we've had to like since basically Vietnam War, World War II. Like those were very traumatic. People who lived through World War II and Vietnam War, specifically people that served, have had a very traumatic experience in their life. And fast forward. I don't know what people who fought in those wars came home and what they felt like. Like, did they feel like, that, hey, life's short, fuck it, do whatever you want? Did they feel like a lot of them suffered from PTSD and things like that?
I think social media probably is a big, catalyst to everyone being like, I want to live that life.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and that's my point.
I don't think in the 40s and 50s
you didn't know what other people did.
I think a lot of people came home and had babies, right? Started families. That's
that was the baby boomer generation.
Yeah, and I think that's like today's modern day version is once again like going on that trip,
it's
going
Tulum.
on that. Yeah, it's Coachella. It's running the marathon.
Judging by stats, these people are coming home and not fucking.
The COVID people.
No one.
Oh yeah,
there's
no
one's
kids.
Fucking. There's no kids. If it
no
wasn't for Nick Cannon and Elon Musk, we're screwed.
Yeah, sex is
They're
out.
holding us down.
Everything's going to be drumline and Teslas in fucking 30 years.
I like drumline.
But I do think it had such a profound impact on the way people are going to live their life. And, we keep talking about spending and inflation. And, I just don't think people care. Like every time I leave the house, I'm just shocked at how expensive things are. Like
and it's not stopping anyone.
Yeah, and you see all walks of life spending the money. Like there was a crazy stat on Disneyland of how many people are overextending to go to Disneyland, right? Like
they want that experience.
They want that experience, and guess what? That experience is so valuable to them. Fuck it, I'll pay 28% APR on that experience.
Right?
Yeah,
because whatever.
I think the average credit card is like 30%.
Because I don't think they're even thinking about that. I think it's just, we want to go. Here's a way we could go. Let's go. We'll worry about the other thing later. Like I've spent so much time stressing. I've spent so much time worried about what's going to happen. I've spent so much time and I'm over it. And I just want to go to fucking Disneyland, and I'm going to Disneyland. Now, once again, like you guys keep saying, like, who knows what that does, to the economy after some time. But I do think people are just over it. They're over stressing.
Yeah, look, I also think it's a moment in time. We thought COVID was going to be the new norm, the way people are going to live their life. Everything's going to be digital, the digital transformation. Right. Nothing. Brick and mortar is on fire. E-commerce is fucking dead. So,
but you're saying this might not be the new norm.
No, I think
in 18 months, people are going to be like, I'm not going to just overspend. Yes. Because I've already done all these experiences.
Yeah, I mean, look, the excuse, I haven't done anything in 4 years, is really only for Chinese people now. Everyone did everything last 12 months. Like people did shit. I was talking to a friend of mine on Friday. I was like, nobody is in town. You know how many people I saw in Mexico or skiing this weekend?
Or Hawaii.
Everyone,
all of it.
everything, everyone, kids, no kids. Obviously it's like spring break, or ski week or whatever it is, for depending on where your kids go to
did
school.
you hear about ski week?
Yeah, I've talked about ski week on this pod before.
Wild.
Yeah.
What's ski week?
It's basically the pre-spring break.
Jesus
for kids.
Christ, that's wild. For
Every
rich kids.
rich kid just goes skiing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you. That's wild.
But yeah, I just think that like people will, after like a year or two, like
You think they'll slow down, or you think this is new pace?
no, I think people slow down. Like I genuinely like to do things, but like maybe because I travel so much for work, I have no interest in fucking going anywhere with my family, unfortunately. Like I'm happy just
you get tired.
But that's just exhaustion.
Yeah, that is exhaustion.
But I think there could also be
You're probably not a good gauge.
But I feel like everyone could go through sort of an exhaustion all at once.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
there was
Like,
lock in the house for 2 years. Everyone go crazy. Everyone's tired.
I think we're going to revert back to the mean on so many things in the next few years. I think, look, if you told me the next 12 months people still travel their dicks off, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe the next 12 months.
I would be willing to bet that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my big error.
Yeah, you thought I'd get a deal for travel.
Yeah, I was really wrong. I'm right on pretty much everything, but I was really wrong on travel.
You're not right about the markets. The markets are tanking now.
There's still a lot of people that were scared, I think. I kind of a little skittish still of COVID the last 12 months, and I think those people...
Yeah, now it's their turn. And Chinese people, by the way, I just went and filled up my gas. It was $5.19 a gallon. Again.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
You know why? Because China's back. They're roaring.
Is that why? They're just sucking up all the gas?
Yeah, I think people thought that like China was going to be in a recession. I'm not studying any fucking numbers. All I'm studying is human psychology. You thought Chinese people were going to fucking not rip and roar like Americans? It's literally the same types of people. There's no difference between American people and Chinese people. They're literally,
forget American people and everyone people. Yeah. They're all the same.
Yeah, but Chinese people have money. That's the difference. If you have money,
you spend.
Most countries don't have any money. China got out, boom. It was a sonic boom of spending that's happening
There's
right now.
There's a lot of Chinese consumption in Los Angeles right now.
Yes, and everywhere.
Is that driving up gas prices? Obviously that
I'm sure the global demand for gas is probably, these guys haven't left their house and now they're driving all over Shanghai, Guangzhou, gas going up.
I bet you could see that little smoke cloud above China just slowly. You thought it was bad in LA. Holy shit.
Yeah, I just think that like people thought that like what was happening in China was the CEO of Saudi Aramco, the demand from China is very strong. Yeah. And then they said that by the second half of the year, the market will face a shortage. What do you think? That's more inflation.
Yeah. Gas, definitely.
Yeah, I filled up the other day too, and I was like, "What? I didn't hear about. We didn't talk about this, but we're back to like record highs."
Yeah, crude oil is slowly creeping up.
I'm part of the Shack view of gasoline, so when I fill up, I do $75. Whatever gets me, gets me.
That's what Shaq does?
Shaq made a whole like speech. It went viral.
I remember that.
NBA on TNT. And he was like, look.
Is that like a dollar cost averaging sort of strategy?
he's like, you spend $50 of gas on a week. Like, who cares what the price is? You're spending $50.
Well,
yeah, what about if you run out because it's $7 a gallon?
No, but then he was like, you travel, you do this, you're not using your gas bill's still $50. So why do you care? I loved it. It was amazing.
That is such an out of touch. That is a rich out of touch fucking answer.
I loved it. I literally love it. I've sent it to a lot of my friends. They all love it too.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Oh, I have a
can we
good
talk
update.
about what our beef? I heard we have beef. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, we do have beef, but I have beef with a Bloomberg reporter.
Oh.
Joe Weisenthal.
Wow.
He blocked me.
Did he?
Wow.
First time I've ever been blocked.
Wow.
I made
That's how you know you made it in alt
media.
media.
What'd you call him?
So he tweeted like Bitcoin down 5%, like it's crashing. It could have been facetious. It could not have been, but I just retweeted. I was like, I can't believe someone with
I
the
think it was a
national-
joke, right?
It probably was. Who cares?
but why would it be? I mean, if he blocked you, why would?
I just said I can't believe people with national following can tweet these things because you have an effect. He has like 380,000 followers.
Yeah.
So whether it was a joke or not, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But why would he be emotional if it was a joke? Wouldn't he just be
And
like,
he
"Hey, I was
blocked
joking"?
me.
Idiot.
A lot of these.
He blocked me. He's on TV. I watch Bloomberg every day. As everyone in this office
So you can't
knows.
even add him.
I can't.
Wow.
Get a new account.
But then maybe he wasn't joking. Why would you get so emo about it if?
Yeah,
wouldn't you be
should
like,
just-
"Hey, you're the idiot.
I'm making
I
a
was
joke."
joking."
Yeah. Say like, "Hey, I'm the idiot."
These reporters.
His name's at the stalwart. So all the Cathys go at reply him and get blocked.
Block me, bitch.
At THESTALWART. Joe Weisenthal. He's on TV all the time. He's the youngest
funny.
dude. Why are you blocking me?
You're,
He's a
you're
bitch.
turning the Anand's. What's your gang called? What's your?
Oh, like a beehive?
Yeah,
I need something, right?
yeah. Well, you're letting them loose.
Yeah, go at him.
I get it. That's cool. I mean, look, I think that you should be really happy. That's the sign of having made it in sort of alternative journalism. Is that the sensitive journalists start blocking you? This is your first one. You should screenshot the blocked thing and put it on your wall, like your first dollar, in a business,
Yeah.
and be like, "This is the first time."
But like, how sensitive are these journalists?
Yeah, they're
I didn't say
incredibly
anything
sensitive.
insulting, nothing personal about him. There was nothing like emotional.
No, you know what it is?
That's the playbook. That's the journalist playbook.
Yeah, why even deal with it? People can't deal with conflict. They'd rather
Journalists,
just
yeah. They have
journalists
a little like dictatory vibe to them, like a little like
They do.
"don't question me" vibe, which is
it's very
not healthy.
elitist. Journalists are very elitist. This is why like people don't trust the news anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's because like you can't take criticism. Imagine like, back in the day when you did something wrong and you went on air and you fucked up. That's not happening today.
That's
but
why I
that's why
kind
all
of
these other
respect
people are winning. Like
Portnoy.
even.
Portnoy.
Well,
He
like
just-
Portnoy, of course, he openly like makes fun of himself. Rogan apologizes. Matt Taibbi apologizes. All these people like publicly say, "I was wrong. My bad." Journalists don't do. There's like this weird. You can't do
like
that.
you're a journalist. Isn't your purpose to uncover truth?
Yeah.
That's your actual job.
Is it? I thought it was a journal.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be objective. This reporter, Joe Weisenthal, at the stalwart, Cathys go after him.
Yeah.
He should have just been like, "Hey,
I don't know
I'm
if you're allowed
joking."
to send people
Attack.
sick
No,
people
just-
on people.
No, just be like, "Hey, I was joking, dude," or "Hey, I actually believe it." One or the
everyone
other.
can just write Anand was joking. Or no. Oh, you're saying he should say I was joking.
Yes, he should say it.
I agree. Who knows, man? I think all these people know that they're like they're on shaky ground and they're just so sensitive to like being wrong or getting, you know what I mean?
Well, he's probably trying to protect his like profile. He's obviously has 300,000+ followers. He's on TV.
Yeah, but who
And he's
cares?
like, I can't have any negative things go at
That's
me.
crazy talk. That's dictatory stuff.
And like, look, we have the number one podcast, but I don't have that many followers on Twitter. Like, what are you scared of me for?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you had 1 million followers and
Yeah.
your fans were attacking him.
Yeah. Okay. Anand, what's
Guess what?
our?
You could just call him racist and you win.
Yeah, he doesn't like brown people. He blocked a brown guy.
That's good, that's
Racism.
good. Yeah. That
You
works.
always claim racism when else fails.
Yeah.
Yep.
He blocked a brown guy.
The good news on it is I can take criticism as a journalist. So I'm just curious what sort of issue you and I have. I heard that
Yeah.
we're kind of in like a little bit of a meet me in the playground after school. We're fighting sort of thing. Maybe
No, I
about
just
the
wanted your
flagpole.
opinion. There's a few things that have kind of unraveled in the last 7 days since
Okay.
we've spoken.
I feel like this is a test.
One, the train derailment. So we
Yeah.
need to take criticism because we blame Pete Buttigieg, right? And the actual truth, which was talked about on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yep.
So Joe Rogan Center,
Yeah.
how I view him,
Okay.
that a lot of the train regulations were rolled back under Republican law in 2021.
And they never changed them.
And Obama had a law that you have faster brakes for trains carrying hazardous chemicals, and they rolled back that law.
What was the purpose of that?
I don't know. Ask drama and the Republicans.
Drama and the Republicans.
See, there it is. There it starts.
Ask drama and the Republicans.
There it begins.
How
am I to blame here? I'm so curious. How am I getting? What's happening
You don't
here?
have to blame. You're not to blame. I just want to point out that the train derailment is a Republican issue, and they're blaming it on Pete Buttigieg.
Because he's annoying.
But we blamed
He's
it on
fine.
Pete Buttigieg.
I know, and I'm saying I agree. We should.
But why am I Republican here?
Why didn't they roll it back? Why didn't he put the fucking brakes on?
Why'd you call me the R word?
You could have done it a year ago. It is his fault. It happened on his watch. Turn those fucking brakes on. I'm sick of this guy.
That's true. So that's true. So I agree with you. So bad look on the Republicans. But
Bad look on the Republicans.
Why am I getting lumped in here?
No, because I think everyone blamed Buttigieg and Biden for all these train derailments. I see all the Republican opinionists saying oh my God, this is all these things going on. But then you actually look at the data. It's like this all happened in Republican law, and the Democrats just got handed the hand.
But
yeah,
they
I think we all
changed
probably
the
did that.
laws.
We all probably made fun of Buttigieg, and it's just easy to make fun of Buttigieg because it's like, what the fuck's the guy up to?
I'll tell you the bigger problem I have is if Pete, whatever his name is, got any real background in transportation, when he got to office, he would have been like, you know what? Maybe we should put brakes on those trains. But no, he doesn't. He has no experience in transportation. That's the point, is that all these train derailments that are happening, you're telling me when Republicans were flying trains around the country, nothing happened?
Well, I mean, Republicans still control the Congress.
I'm just saying that he wasn't aware. When you hire these positions, if you hire people that actually know what's going on, they could be helpful and at least identify the problems.
So you're saying he should have pushed, being like, hey, we rolled back all this legislation.
By the way, did you not know? I guarantee you he had no idea.
I agree with that.
I actually have only one complaint.
I actually agree with that he probably has no clue. That
Pete Buttigieg has never been on a train.
Hell
you think that guy's been on a train?
No, I have one complaint actually against the Democrats. So this might send me you can put me in the R word bucket. All that I'm saying is when that train derailment happened, I think that Pete Buttigieg or even Kamala or somebody should have been in Ohio 3 days later saying, we will get to the bottom of what is poisonous, what is a danger, what really happened here, and we will give you guys accurate information. I even watched a Vice video the other day where it just looks like, and I'm not there, I don't know, I'm not there testing the chemicals, but it looks like the people that are there are obviously having horrible experiences, getting sick, animals are dying, blah, 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 and then being told that everything is safe and it's okay to return and it's okay to bring their kids back. And it just doesn't seem like they're getting answers. So I do think the Republicans are to blame for the regulation if that's what happened. Totally get it. And I'm not even saying Pete should have caught it. But I do think that the way it was just kind of it seems like those people, I've seen video of city council meetings and stuff, they really feel like they're not getting straight answers and everyone's just kind of letting it go. That's my critique. And that is on the Democrats.
I do agree that the administration should have been there 100% because it's a very serious issue. Mm-hmm. But the regulation was under Republican law. And no one talks about it. And that's an L.
That's a huge L.
Our boy Joe Rogan is the only one that's talked about it that has an actual national voice.
Yeah, because the guy, against popular belief, just tries to figure out what the fuck's going on.
And he even said, hey, let's Google it. Let's see what happens. The Democrats are saying one thing. The Republicans are saying another. Let's Google it. Jamie, bring it up. And he brought it up and he sided with this happened under Republican law.
Yeah. I think that's totally valid. I have no complaint there. My only complaint is we are currently under a Democratic presidency and the first guy there was Trump. And that sucks. Because contrary to your belief, I hate Trump. But you let Trump get there first. And this motherfucker's about to start running. And you let him get there and say, I'm the one looking out for you. Even though he's probably the one who signed off on the regulation. You let this motherfucker do it. And where's Pete?
You know why? Democrats are the fucking Under Armour of marketing. They suck. They literally
which is
suck.
weird because Under Armour is very Republican.
Yeah,
But he's saying Under Armour's a terrible brand.
You're right. You're right.
I'm not even saying it's a terrible brand. They're just, it's like,
No, they're everywhere, but their marketing sucks.
This is even better. Under Armour has Steph Curry. They had Tom Brady. They've had the greatest athletes of the last decade.
And they couldn't do anything with them.
They didn't do anything with it. Democrats had all the momentum. Everything was handed to them. Just fucking. They still do.
You're right. But I'm just saying the Republicans keep tripping over themselves. They keep this abortion bullshit. This like they can't. The red wave fucking petered out, and the Democrats still can't. You still let Donald Trump get there and get up on a stage first. What are you doing?
No, I think that's
marketing is important in politics.
And the other MAGA thing I wanted Drama's view on.
Okay.
Yep.
Rupert Murdoch was showing Jared Kushner. The Democratic Biden ad spots. So that
I saw that.
They can figure out how they want to advertise.
Okay, you ready for my take?
Meaning like...
they previewed him?
Yeah, they previewed.
That's fine.
You think it's fine?
Yeah, I don't care.
Here's
All fair is and more. Everything's fair.
No, if that happened on MSNBC,
but it's happening.
Can you imagine?
It's happening. It's
Tucker Carlson would have talked for 2 hours about this.
It's happening.
I bet CNN has like an equivalent to that, right? Don't you think they have some sort of way they're working with the White House?
Democrats are that dumb? They don't have
any.
They're
not dumb. Dude, these guys are savages. This Russia Gate and Steele dossier. They're fucking.
They're out here hustling.
They're out here grinding, man.
I don't know.
Savages.
I've been. I haven't seen anyone talk about this.
Because it doesn't matter.
No, because it doesn't matter when Republicans do it. It matters when Democrats do it.
No, because Democrats aren't good at it. They
No.
suck at that.
That's not true, Anand. All that the Democrats do, rightfully so, is bash the Republicans and how evil they are and how.
But Rupert Murdoch is the biggest media conglomerate personality in the United States of America.
What about Joe Rogan?
No, but he controls Fox. He controls like the country. Joe Rogan's the biggest voice. Rupert Murdoch is the biggest kind of business guy.
I mean,
in media.
Yeah, and to Republicans' credit, they've aligned with somebody. The Democrats have not aligned with any entity. They're not aligned with CNN.
Yeah, so I just want to like cut the bullshit. Like we're not in this like investigating the truth. If
on
everyone
either side
wants to be honest,
no,
then it's fine.
No one's doing that.
No
Maybe
one's
Joe
honest.
Rogan.
Who's honest?
I think Joe Rogan's honest. I gotta say it. I do.
I can't. I agree with you, John.
I think he attempts to be.
Because when he bashed the derailment and bashed the Republicans, I was like, I like that.
I think he attempts to be honest.
But here's the thing: is like, okay, let's just we all agree Joe Rogan's the biggest person in media. Period.
Yep, 20 million, 3 times a week, 3.5 hours an episode.
Okay,
so he's got 20 million people listening to him for 11 hours a week.
Okay,
it's unimaginable.
And you take the clips, it's 100 million people, right?
Yeah.
The clips, right? Both parties know that. If I was a Democrat.
Bernie what?
Okay, sorry. Bernie, sure, he gets it. If I was a Democrat, I would plant someone there.
What do you mean plant?
It doesn't even have to be Joe Biden. It doesn't even have to be a politician. It's someone that represents their beliefs.
It's too scary. Look what happened to fucking Sanjay Gupta. It is so terrifying. If he gets you, Sanjay Gupta got skewered on that show and
but think
about the risk.
So get your best guy.
Wow, we may take the Hindu card out of drama.
Yeah,
after Sanjay Gupta,
he did get eviscerated. I saw the clip.
I listened to the episode.
Got the H card going.
I'm just saying, damn. I'm just saying, like that was a really bad.
We're like the Republicans. Indians are like the Republicans.
You're right. I fucked up. That was really, really, really bad. And what that did for like the vaccine narrative and the like, how come we don't talk about health instead of just vaccines? Why don't we talk about obesity being like there was so much. And I bet you if you're sitting wherever at your desk on Team Democrat, you watch that, your fucking guy, your brain surgeon, your genius just got beat to a pulp by this MMA dude. And you're like, fuck that. Who are we going to send? It's scary.
It is scary because he doesn't stop.
Okay, so get someone good.
But who would you recommend if you could choose anyone?
Hold on. Like Alex Berenson goes on that pod and says insane shit, but everyone only cherry picks the like
Who's
things he
Alex
got
Berenson?
right. He's the one that basically said masks don't work, vaccines don't work, myocarditis. He was saying this in 2020, really early.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
But like he said a lot of shit that was fucking wrong
yeah.
and absolutely insane. But no one picks that. It only gets picked when a Democrat says something wrong, like Sanjay Gupta.
That's to your eyes, because if you ask a Republican,
No,
they'll
but
be
drama we'll call him, center.
Don't you fucking R-word me. How did I get put in this box?
By the way, because you're being the liberal, Joe Rogan is fucking hated by Democrats.
He's hated by, yes.
I know,
100%.
way more hated by Democrats.
100%.
A liberal point of view, Joe Rogan is...
But my point is, drama will pick out Sanjay Gupta, but won't pick out Alex Berenson.
Sanjay Gupta got bodied.
Yeah.
But Alex Berenson...
Yeah. I'm trying to, because you're kind of right. Like, I think part of it is just because...
Also how you interview.
Like, part of it was I just wasn't really into that Berenson interview, and the Gupta one I was really excited about.
Yeah, it's a profile of the person, too. Like John Favreau. He should go on Joe Rogan. He obviously the liberal.
Saw him at the Grove on Saturday.
Okay, so instead of being at the Grove, get your ass to Austin, Texas, and do the interview with him.
Soldier after soldier until
But
one
I
gets
don't know
it
if drama...
Go.
I don't know. Do you think John Favreau would go on?
I mean...
It's a big test. And they're both like huge media personalities. Pod Save America is still top 5 podcasts in the world.
He's
That's
going
what
to
I'm
be like,
saying.
yo, Obama fucking, what about this record number of civilians killed in drone strikes under the Obama administration?
Yeah, he'll
Who
say
wants
all
to
that.
fucking
Yeah.
take
Then-
that? John Favreau? Yeah, right.
I mean, if I was John Favreau, you got to go.
Here's the dumbest thing that
If
the
you want to be
Democrats...
if you want to be the heavyweight champ of the world, you got to go fight the biggest dog. My guy Jake Paul would do that.
That's true. Send Jake Paul. This is my one thing is I think that the Democrats alienating and trying to cancel and calling a racist of Joe Rogan was the biggest media fumble by a party in history because he was so openly a Democrat.
I'm literally like a socialist compared to you guys, and I listen to Joe Rogan every week.
Yeah, they fumbled that so badly. They could have just lightly embraced him. Instead, they became his worst enemy, which made him, they painted him as far right. They painted all this stuff.
That's actually the problem with kind of, and it's actually the genius of Joe Rogan and the negativity that he gets with it is that it's a 3.5 hour show, but if you take a 20-second clip, you can be like, oh, this guy's insane. But you didn't hear the 20 seconds after, the 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
But I also think there was a decision of like, do you want to go Joe Rogan Democrat? Which is like kind of like what we all are, right? You know, obviously we're not take that lightly, but like center Democrat.
We're Joe Rogan Democrats. I like that.
Yeah, like center Democrat, right? That's what I would call it. And I think
we should make that a t-shirt.
It's a good t-shirt.
I agree. And I think that
you get 20 million people to buy it.
Yeah.
20 million people buy it. We'll pump those out.
Joe Rogan Democrat, 20 million aren't buying that shirt. Sorry to say.
No, not even his audience. And I think that there was another branding decision, which was like woke, super liberal Democrat. And I think the party went that way. And that's anti-Joe Rogan. And so it was like, it's one type of Democrat fighting a different type of Democrat. But I think the party went the woke way and Joe Rogan became the enemy. And I think that was a mistake. Yeah. But let me say one thing on it, because you'll love this part. I have talked about Twitter and how they're fucked up and what they were doing. And I talked about our boy Sanjay. I have a really big complaint with this whole Fox News Murdoch shit that's coming out is there's, they're getting into like the text messages and stuff from Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. And it's showing that these guys aren't as dumb and crazy as they play on TV. They know that.
Yeah,
I know. Of course. I'm just saying.
I mean, Tucker got the vaccine. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
100%. They know that what they're saying is crazy. They know that Rudy Giuliani is crazy. They know that blah, blah, blah is crazy. They know that they are feeding this insane narrative and they know that their fans are addicted to it like crack. And I'm just saying that they should all be arrested. There should be, the way that our legal system should work is that if you are portraying truth to an audience when you know that you are lying and you know that you are riling people up and you know that it could be potentially harmful, you should be arrested. And the fact that this just happens and is one
I
of
have
our
hope
biggest
for
news
drama.
networks.
No,
First time in 4 weeks.
I'll tell you why. I'm going to play the counter. I'm going to play the counter to you.
Maybe Fauci or something.
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Rachel Maddow.
Rachel
So
Maddow.
Joe
Rachel Maddow.
Biden
Yes.
was literally
That's it.
on.
We can all
Joe
agree. We can
Biden
bring the
did a
country
press
together.
conference saying that if you don't get vaccinated, you're gonna keep spreading the virus. Like, they said false shit. Everyone said false shit during this time. Both sides are complicit in stupidity. So many Democrats said. Think about how divided the country was over masks and vaccine.
But the thing
and
is,
we're learning that it didn't fucking matter.
No, it did. It did matter.
There's a little
early.
difference.
Sorry.
There's a little difference.
No, there's a massive
but
difference.
a year later, it did not.
It
I'm
didn't
sorry.
matter
No,
once the virus mutated. It didn't matter, but it did matter.
That
on
was
the
a year
original
later. I'm
cover.
talking a year
But
later.
70% of the country got vaccinated.
Yeah.
So
But I'm
that's
saying,
the
but we
vast
were-
majority.
but we
this
were-
isn't like a
I know.
50-50 battle.
I know, but-
when 70% get vaccinated, this is the reason why mortality went from, you look the first 12
I
months, it
know
was
that's
1 million,
fine, but
and
they
there's
were
only
But
150,000
the way
later.
they were positioning it, because he's saying you should be.
They had to, because of the Tucker Carlsons and the Rupert Murdochs of the world. They had to position it.
But it was
so
false.
Insane.
It was false. It was not real. That was not accurate data. I'm sorry. You could
the
go.
mortality rate is data. Just look at
I know,
when
but
the
okay,
vaccine
let's
rolled
look at
out.
Sweden. Look at the countries where no
Just-
one got vaccinated.
Look at the data in America. Post-vaccination, we've probably had 150,000 deaths, and we had 1 million the year before. 1 million!
I know, but if you look at all the other data in other countries, they show different things. We don't know what would have happened
But
if we
let's
did
just
not
look
get
at-
vaccinated.
With 350 million
I know,
person
but
population.
we may have all died. The same amount of people may have died anyways. We don't know that. We don't have that number. So
But we
what I'm
do know,
saying is,
like, cause and effect. A vaccine rolled out, everyone got it, 70%
or maybe
of the
because
country
so
got
many
it.
people had already gotten COVID.
It could
that
have been
wasn't-
both.
That's what I'm saying. But we didn't allow society
But
to have
death
that opinion.
load, either
Instead,
way.
we just said, you didn't get it. You're a fucking bad person. We were on this podcasting
And I stand by
clowning
it.
people
I
that
stand
didn't
by
get
it.
vaccinated.
I stand by it.
Yeah, that's your opinion. I've changed my view where I was like, we made people feel so bad for not doing something. And I don't think that's
But
the
the
right
risk
way.
were so low of getting vaccinated. What were you like?
But the
The
one
same
thing that I don't like about what we did or that I did, I'll speak for myself, is like, who cares if someone chooses not to get vaccinated?
Exactly.
Like if
That was my point.
I am glad that I got vaccinated. I do believe that for that first year, it kept me a little safer. I do believe that when I got COVID, it made it a little bit less impactful. I believe that. But why do I care? You know, that's the part that I don't, because it wasn't stopping the spread. The reason why I said that was because I was like, stop the spread, get the vaccine.
The rewind is we were still in lockdown when vaccines were rolling out, and we were like, how do we get out of this life?
Yes.
Of this terrible, shitty life. And that was our only solution.
But not in Florida.
But Florida, and their numbers aren't.
Different than
are
ours.
okay.
That's my point. They
still got vaccinated.
That's all I'm saying.
They
The
just
only
were
thing that I
open.
wish
but they
would
were
have
open
happened.
the whole time.
70% of the country got vaccinated.
This is
Sorry.
if I could go back, and no one could have done this, but if I could go back and rewrite history, I would have said the vaccines are available. We are opening things back up. If you are worried, get a vaccine. If you're not,
If not, don't get it. Who
Worry about
cares?
yourself, but
We
they are now
ruined
available
people's
at everything.
lives.
So that's all I'm saying.
We can't continue to ruin people's lives over their political, religious, whatever fucking belief they have. That's not what America's about. You don't want to get vaccinated. You don't want to fucking mask.
To be
That's
fair,
your problem.
at the point, we believed that the vaccine actually stopped the spread.
No, because
We believed it.
some people believed it. Not everybody.
Yeah,
Not
we
everyone.
believe it, but that's what
70%
we
of the
were
country.
told.
We were told.
And
we were
I'm-
told. We were
I'm
like, okay, this
curious.
is how we open up
I
country.
know, but that. So if you take the
So
Rupert
even if we
Murdoch,
revisionist history, that's fine. We were wrong for like 6 months, but we actually limited mortality, and then Omicron, Delta, all this shit showed up that wasn't protected by the vaccine.
and it
I still think it's net positive that we all got vaccinated.
but if you talk to someone in China, I literally talked to someone in China.
They had a shitty vaccine.
and they don't, and they probably had the same mortality rate as us. Is my point.
no, we won't know the data, so you can't.
I
say
know, but
that.
I'm just saying, people, unfortunately, we're gonna die because of this disease, no matter what. I just don't believe that. Like, if it's hard to say that anyone was right or anyone was wrong. I just don't believe that that's fair.
I think you could be right in a period and wrong in the next period. And
Like,
I'm
let me
okay
tell you
with that.
one thing that really bums me out is like there was no messaging about the fact that so many people dying were obese, and here are some ways to get fit and not.
Yeah,
be
the
obese.
only
That
thing
was like
Joe
you couldn't say
Rogan was
that.
the only one doing it.
Yeah, and you couldn't say that. And that was actually kind of fucked up, and that was fat shaming, and that was whatever. But I also want to kind of pull us a little bit back on track, maybe, is I think that Fox does it a little bit more flagrantly than left-leaning media. But I think that left-leaning media has their own version of knowing that they're peddling a party's message or a pharmaceutical company's message or a whatever, or saying things or embellishing on things that they don't know to be true. And I think that that should be illegal, because I think that that is destroying our country. I mean it that seriously. I do. I think if you look at really why everyone's so divided, it's mostly because of things that they're hearing from Fox or from CNN and how that's trickling down into family conversations, and people are becoming radicalized. And I think that these people are meanwhile laughing in text messages that, ha ha ha, Rudy Giuliani's fucking crazy. And you just poisoned people's brains. Like the same way that like we force nutrition information to be put on, McDonald's food. Like you have to at least disclose the bullshit that they're eating. You should have to say, this is what we know. It's crazy.
I mean, Fox News, MSNBC, both. So I'll literally say both. They should just be like, this is satire comedy, like SNL.
Yeah.
Or like we are. Yeah, like we're cheerleaders for the Democrats. We're cheerleaders for the right. If you're on the right, join us. We fuck around every single night. We have crazy stories, conspiracy theories. It's a great place to be. But man, the fact that you can say that it is fact, and then these people can.
But that's honestly goes back to the politicians that now that we've identified this, because I think we're the first people to actually think about how serious of an issue this is. We need legislation to be like, hey,
no, because you can't do that.
Make
Free
it
speech.
Comedy. Don't just say you have to be labeled as comedy.
It should
be you know how we get labeled? We're going to get labeled as COVID on this Spotify episode.
That's because of your people.
Yeah,
but
that's because of your people. Why the fuck do we have COVID? What you don't put a fucking label when you get McDonald's that makes you fucking
so
fat.
Now we need to label Fox News, MSNBC, CNN
comedy.
This is comedy. This is all theater.
Spotify is a place for comedy.
Yeah, you should.
Everything's comedy.
Nothing is real. This is all fake.
But that's what's crazy is everyone thinks it's real. Like we can joke about it and be like, it's almost like if us joking about like, I don't fucking know, like some financial, no one pays taxes, long-term capital gains, ha ha ha. But people don't know that. They're just absorbing this. It's like the same way that you have to put smoking causes cancer on cigarettes, the same way you have to put nutrition facts on shitty food, the same way you have to you shouldn't be able to poison people's brains knowingly and act all the while like it is truthful news, and both sides do it. I think Fox is a little bit more flagrant, but both sides do it.
We need to label it like we've just decided.
Yeah.
You got to label it on both.
They say this is loosely based on true events.
Yeah.
This is loosely based on some jokes and some kind of real shit.
Yeah. I just, man, it's
okay.
Crazy.
We got to do that on the intro. This is loosely based on.
Oh,
but at least we're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're also realistic.
Tucker's pretty funny sometimes.
I mean,
I've seen some clips.
No, but Tucker pretends he knows everything.
I know it's a joke. It's all a joke, though. I think
it's a joke that he knows. That guy's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I know he is. Did you see
criminal.
that video of him in Montana?
No.
Remember during the middle of COVID?
Oh, yeah.
And he got harassed and he just started laughing at him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guy.
Yeah,
That's criminal. That's
I make $40 million a year. Do you think I take this shit seriously?
To me, that's literally the same as the cigarette companies before, getting all the scientists, hiring all the scientists to do studies and say that smoking is healthy and laughing at their board meeting and saying, ha ha ha.
So
we're making millions of dollars.
I'll give you a counter.
People.
Instead of punishing Fox and CNN and MSNBC and Joe Rogan and all these people, why don't we punish? I mean, who is actually getting punished is the American people. Why not get fucking smarter? Why are you such a dummy and you just believe people for everything they tell you?
I just think
I don't understand that.
Their own, but think about
when
it.
You're busy and you're trying to take care of your kids and you're working your job that you fucking hate and you're blah, blah, blah. And you come home and you pop on the news and you're told that this is giving you what is going on in the country and it's fucking biased. I think it's fucked up. I think it's the same as saying, you know what, you've had a long day, stop at McDonald's. It is healthy. And little do you know, you're poisoning yourself. I think it's
I 100% agree. A lot of jobs, you're not allowed to be on your phone. You're You're doing your work.
What job
whatever.
is that? Everyone's on their fucking phone all day.
Yeah.
Unless they're CIA, they're on their phone all
If
day.
you're like at an Amazon warehouse, you're not on your phone.
A teacher's not allowed to be on the phone. I see it. I've gone to our kids' schools.
I've heard teachers have OnlyFans accounts.
But the problem is when you are on your phone, Anand, you're getting served a Tucker Carlson clip.
Right.
Like even when you are on your phone at work fucking around, or a Don Lemon clip or whatever, because I do want to be clear, they both do it. And that's what's fucked up is if you call out one side, you're now the other side. And it's like, no, you guys are it's all a joke.
And yeah, even if you're not getting that clip, you go home, you have an hour to consume media before you go to sleep or watch a Netflix show.
Yeah.
You're seeing crazy shit.
Yeah. Plus you're going to hang out with your wife, and your wife has seen the crazy shit all day and she's telling it to you, or you're going to hang out with your family and they've seen it and they're telling it to you. Like think about like how many people's conversations in this country are based around what is said on the news. If you think about that, it's probably most. It's sports and what's said on CNN or Fox. That's all. That's all anyone's talking
or a clip of one of those. Yeah,
exactly. And that's poison.
And by the way, to that point, you can exit now. Chris Rock special is the clips of the fucking century.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so listeners, I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go watch it right now. I don't want to get spoiled. Spoiler alert.
All right, we're gonna get into this Chris Rock special. So I came home last night, kids to bed, turn on the TV, finally got a quiet moment, turn on Netflix. I see Chris Rock, and it says live on the Netflix platform. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know he had a special. I honestly did not know. Turn it on. I see 6 people sitting on a stage talking. I'm like, fuck, I missed it. And they're talking live. It's the post show to the special. And it just had ended. And it was David Spade and Dana Carvey hosting with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Who else was in the JB Smoove? Oh God. 2 other people. I don't remember. I can't remember the top of my head.
I was late, so I didn't see it.
So I watched this post special, and it basically ruined the special. It literally talked about everything he said. And I was like, man, I can't believe I didn't get a chance to watch this. So I watched the whole ending, and then it said in 10 minutes, we start the Chris Rock live. And I'm like, oh my God, they're about to replay it. So I watched it. So Chris Rock he's on tour right now.
With Dave Chappelle. And he had a show in Baltimore that he made his Netflix special, and it was live. This was a new thing for Netflix, live. And one humongous opportunity for Netflix because it proved that like appointment television still matters. Mm-hmm. Like you say something's going to happen at a certain time, it happens. Like and people are there. So they had a pre-show. They had like Leslie Jones. They had Arsenio Hall was the other person. Leslie Jones and Arsenio Hall were hosting the pre-show. And Arsenio Hall was like the first person that put Chris Rock on TV, put him on as a stand-up. So he introduces him like to replay like 1989, whenever he put him on. And the special starts. Hilarious. I think it was called Selective Outrage. I think so. Yeah. That was the name of it. So it's funny because I had no idea there was this live thing going on. Yeah. So, you guys came over earlier in the day to our place and kids are asleep. I'm sitting with our mom and she's like, let's watch Chris Rock. This is like 8:30, 9 p.m. So she knew about it. She must have because I had no idea. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wow, Chris Rock has a special? And so she just starts playing it, and I had no idea this was the live recording of this. You had saw the second recording because the original was at 7 p.m. Yeah, so I saw it like 8:39 or whatever. But it was still the live recording because he messed up a few times in the show, and I heard him they literally just replayed the live, And my God, this guy is unreal. So Chris Rock. I bought a CD when I was 14 years old. Bring the Pain? Yeah, at Tower Records to listen to like his comedy. Yeah. So I've been a fan for like a long time now. Yeah. And he's just as good as he was. It was funny because like the clips are now all over Twitter and Instagram.
and people are like posting cringe. Like,
yeah, what there's some negative.
there is negative. One, he attacked Meghan Markle for being a victim.
I loved his Meghan
Which, by the
Markle.
way, I think majority of people agree with.
I
Like,
love the hate.
Yeah.
Not the hate, the comedy of
the
it.
comedy of it. It was hilarious. I think he said things that everyone was wanting to say. He said it.
Yeah, he said, "Did you not Google this family?"
Yeah, you're just like, I couldn't believe they're racist. He's like, they invented colonialism.
And no, but like, look, we are both products of mixed kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And our parents were like, I wonder what the kids are going to look like.
Yes.
They both said that.
Yeah. By the way, if you're an Indian person and you listen to this podcast, there's nothing that matters more to an Indian family than the color of your goddamn skin.
Yeah.
They asked if you're fair or you're dark.
Yeah.
We're
100%.
dark. Trust me, I'm sure we'd be more attractive to other people if we were
I mean, look
lighter
at Bollywood stars. They're all fair skinned.
Yeah, they're not even Indian. They're Pakistani.
Yeah.
And so
it was so funny that, he made that joke and our mom was dying laughing. Like, of course we want to know what the kid's going to look like.
And then they made another comment about Chris Rock made a comment about that, like, maybe just it's your in-law shit.
Yeah.
Okay, when you get married and you have in-laws, guess what? They hate your guts. It's fine. It takes time to win them over. They're not going to love you overnight.
Yeah, or it's tricky, whatever.
Yeah,
like everyone has
it's
in-laws.
complicated. Yeah, and it's like, it's so much of it is true. And like, look, the royal family has historical racism. Do I believe that? Yes, 100%. Do I think they were out for Meghan Markle?
No.
I just don't believe it.
Absolutely not.
They don't fucking care.
No, they don't.
I'm sorry, they don't care.
No, but she took advantage of it, and she's now like,
Yeah.
gets to live in Montecito and make tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, she
doing
played her
specials.
cards right, and that's fine. And so if you can still love her after that, great, good for you. All right, so then all that happens. It's a hilarious special. You should watch it 100%. Last 10 minutes just goes after Will Smith.
Loved it.
He just dropped it.
I was so annoyed the way Will Smith handled everything post the slap.
His fake interviews.
It's just so fake. The interview, the Instagram interview he did,
it's contrived. Yeah, it's not real.
Totally contrived. The whole family's fabricated.
Yeah,
and I was huge. Like Will Smith was like my hero growing up.
Yeah,
I was a Fresh Prince fan.
Yeah.
I watched all those episodes.
Yeah,
became a huge movie star. And I was just like, man, he really is just a fabricated star.
Yeah.
And he's just lost the plot. And Chris Rock is right.
Yeah. So Chris Rock basically called him a bitch 35 times.
Yeah, maybe more.
Maybe more. You got to watch it. All I'm going to say is it's incredible. It was hilarious. It was really fun. It's comedy at the end of the day. If you get offended by it,
you should stop comedy.
Yeah, you should just stop watching and consuming content. Just, it is what it is. It's a moment in time. Enjoy it. Move on. If I saw Will Smith on the street, he's still Will Smith. He's a superstar. And I'm okay with him still being a superstar. I have no problem with that. If I saw Chris Rock, same thing. He's funny. He's a superstar.
I'm really curious, are the Smiths going to retaliate? Because he went in.
He went in on
Jada. Yeah. He went on Will.
The kids,
he went
everybody.
On the kids. He went on the family.
Yeah.
And, I think Chris Rock's 57. Is that right?
Is he really?
Can you check?
He looks great.
He looked amazing. He's in his 50s for sure. Google that. But I just don't think he
58.
58.
Wow. He looks great.
And,
fuck, he's 58. God damn, he looks good.
And, he has older kids now. And he just didn't care. He was like, I'm going in.
Yeah, I loved it.
58's amazing. That's amazing. I wish I'd look like that at 58.
Comedy is just an amazing...
I think comedy's coming back.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. proved it.
Yeah, that you could say
whatever you want now.
Yeah, you should.
So this is the Overton window. Do you want to talk
let's
about
do it? So he didn't have a razor, so he had a window.
I had a window. Overton window, which shut during the pandemic, and I think it's reopened.
Okay, I don't know what it is.
Overton window is what you're acceptable to say in society.
Oh.
So I feel like during the pandemic, the Overton window shut.
It was over.
Yeah, the window was over.
Yeah.
Now with Louis C.K. and what Chris Rock just did, the window's opening.
Okay, so you
The
can
big
say whatever you
window.
want.
I think so.
Locker room talk is back.
I think so.
Ironically, we had a fun night the other night with some friends at Bird Streets. That window was wide open.
It was pretty big Overton window. The window was really big.
It felt like locker room talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good time.
that's my point.
Yeah, I think
Things change.
yeah, that's my point in everything with spending and traveling and life in general. I think in 5 years we're all going to be so much.
Well, back to 2018.
2018, where we're all kind of the same. Before Trump, we were all the same.
Mm-hmm.
There was the racism wasn't there. Like everything was kind of like, we were all just happy being together. And then this guy fucking brought it all out of us.
Yeah. No, I hope you're right.
And not 2018, more like 2014.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all. Go watch the special. It's hilarious. Watch the pre and post too, because those are also
I
hilarious.
didn't see that. I have to watch this.
It's really good. I mean, because they were making fun of Lululemon. It was just hilarious stuff. I also think Netflix has something on there. Like, it just shows that,
like appointment television.
yeah, I think appointment television matters, and Netflix doing this thing live. I wish they marketed it better.
I didn't know.
Why don't you
I'm
give
like
a
Chris Rock
fucking
fan.
push notification on
I
the
have,
app?
I have the app.
If you just did a push notification on the app and say Chris Rock is live now,
I would have watched it.
50 million people would have turned on.
100%.
So I think they have to do a better job of marketing, which is kind of shocking because they're actually an incredible marketing firm. But like,
Sarando.
what's up, Sarando? You couldn't give me a push notification? I was so mad I watched the post show after.
Yeah, I can't
before.
believe you saw it after. We didn't see it till. And what's funny is like how the range is. Like our mom's in her 70s, and
Yeah.
she was laughing just as much as I was.
Yeah.
Overton window.
Yeah.
It's wide open.
Yeah, it's back. It's back. All right. On that note, have fun at a locker room talk call with your friends this week. See you later.